Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Elion, and we are here with the brilliant Rich Clark from
Hey,
the band As the World Burns. So welcome, Rich.
what's up, you guys? How you doing out there?
So Rich, uh, Rich, could you introduce yourself and what you do within the band?
Yeah, man. My name is Rich Clark. I play lead guitar, um, do the engineering and mixing for the band, produce some songs, write some songs, do a lot. But everybody plays their role for sure. Um, and I'm totally obsessed with it all.
Yeah, cool. So let's dive into some questions.
Okay.
Um, as a kid, what were you listening to?
Let's see. It was probably Beatles. But we had a what is that station called with Don Cornelius, the Soul Train. I watched Soul Train on the weekends too, so a little bit of funk was mixed in there. I listened to when I got older. Kiss came around. I was pretty young, and they were seemed larger than life at the time, and got into Kiss for a long time. And then Zeppelin and Sabbath. Sabbath was huge for me. And that's pretty much the gist. There's a lot more, obviously a lot deeper, but that's the surface of it anyway.
Yeah, cool. So who actually got you into music? Was it your parents or a sibling or a school friend, or was it something that you discovered on your own?
It's kind of something I discovered on my own. My parents were not supportive very much at all. I wanted to be a drummer at first, and they weren't having any of that drum noise in their house. So wanted to play guitar after that. I was like, well, that's not that loud. We'll be okay with that. And I couldn't get a guitar. So I worked my ass off when I was 13, pulling crab pots, believe it or not, in Maryland to save enough money to buy a Gibson Flying V that summer. And bought that and like a PV Renown amp. And I just put my nose to the grindstone and tried to figure it all out. But yeah, in high school, there was a lot of big influences as far as my friends go. The couple of guys that I went to school with were just like prodigies, just amazing musicians. One drummer in particular, Mark Wadsworth, he was just amazing. Everything he played was perfect, it seemed like, but yet with feel. And he was such a young age, at such a young age, it was just unbelievable. So people like that were a huge inspiration for me. I was lucky enough to be surrounded by a bunch of really good musicians.
Yeah, cool. So who actually inspired you to say, right, okay, I want to pick up a guitar, uh, become a drummer? Who actually inspired you to say, right, I want to do this?
I
Was it
guess I
somebody
gotta
from Black Sabbath? Or,
Black Sabbath was
sorry?
definitely huge. That probably is my biggest one for as it got me towards it. But once I saw Kiss live, it was over. Um, that put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. That really put me over the top and really wanting to learn. So although I can credit Sabbath a lot, Kiss is probably the one that pushed me to the point where like, yeah, I got to do this. Funny
Yeah,
thing is,
cool.
I don't even like Kiss
So,
anymore. I liked
yeah,
the '80s Kiss was horrible, man. Oh my god.
yeah,
But the old school
yeah,
stuff, like
especially
cool.
right now. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
especially with like with the makeup.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not a fan of the substitute people in there. Um, and they do their job and they do it well. It's just not the same. I mean, if I didn't get how they wore the same makeup as the original guys, they should have just stuck with different makeup or something. I don't know. It just don't go over well with me for some reason. Not that they don't do a good job; they do a
Yeah,
great job.
yeah, yeah. So, were you in any bands prior to As the World Burns?
Yeah, I've been in a few bands. just like everybody goes through people in bands. You, you get together with a bunch of guys, 4 or 5 guys, and then somebody gets married, somebody goes to school, off to college, somebody you just don't get along with, or they don't get along with you. So it's always been a task just to keep a band together. Um, but yeah, I've been in probably 10 or 15 bands before As the World Burns. We've been together about 12 years now. Cool group of dudes. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, yeah,
You
it's
know,
good when you find like a good group of people.
yeah, and we all have different musical tastes too. I'm a metal guy. Other guitar player's a metal guy. Singer, he's kind of like into the '80s type stuff and things like that, which is cool. And then bass player, he's more eclectic. He likes all kinds of different stuff, from Devin Townsend to Oingo Boingo. It's just a big difference and stuff that people we all like. And put it together, though, it sounds kind of unique. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah. So, what has the band been up to, especially over the last year or so?
The last year or so, we played a bunch of shows earlier on in the year. We moved on with a different drummer. He's getting ready to get worked in. We're real excited about that. And in the meantime, we recorded a new single called Realized. It'll be available pretty soon on Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff. And we're probably going to have a video before we release that. And pretty much that's what we've been doing, is just playing shows and writing songs. That's what a band does, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, have you got anything? You mentioned you've got a new single coming out. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's a song called Realized. It's the first one that I actually mixed all the way through myself. I've engineered our last album, but I didn't mix it. We sent it off to Chris Collier to mix, and he did a fantastic job, by the way. And then he mastered it as well. And this time I engineered it, produced it, and mixed it, and then we sent it off to a mastering guy named Mayor Applebaum, who's out of California, done a bunch of killer bands like Sepultura and things like that. But it's a pretty good song, man. It's the first one that our guitar player that we've had for about a year and a half has brought to As the World Burns. So it's not something that is exactly like any of our other music. So that's always a plus in where I come from, because you want to evolve somewhat, and having different people in the band putting contributions in helps you with that for sure. So he got to play the lead on this one. It's the first one I haven't played a lead on, but he did a great job, and it's all cool. Can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So, is there any plans on releasing an album?
Yeah, once we're gonna get a few songs. I've got like 5. In fact, I'm gonna put one down on Pro Tools tonight. Some riffs we've been working on last week and stuff. See if I can't get a song structure out of them. And then we got about 4 or 5 songs right now that we could record and all that. So I don't know if we're gonna do a whole record at this time, just because the music industry's so weird now. It's like singles are kind of the thing. So we're gonna put together a bunch of singles, and then release them together on our compilation of those singles. Call it an album.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Uh, are you sort of writing any new material uh, for putting out there for singles, or are you planning on like sort of keeping those aside for
I'm sorry, Eli.
would it be
You broke up
an
with me.
EP or an album?
You broke up on me a little bit on that one. Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Are you writing any new? Are you constantly writing new material for like sort of like new singles, EP or an album?
Yeah, I'm always messing around, writing stuff and putting it down on Pro Tools, trying to get ideas. That's kind of like what I do with my free time for the most part. So we got a bunch of songs. They're going to just come out. We're going to record one, do the whole thing, put it out, record one, do the whole thing and put it out. And like I said, hopefully people will dig it. That is the point.
Yeah. So are you planning on any sort of like local playing live some local live shows, or are you going to be sort of like planning on doing tours?
So since we're waiting on our drummer to get his stuff together to start getting worked into um, the lineup, we've been writing a lot of songs. That gives us a lot of time to do that because a lot of times we'll spend most of it rehearsing the songs that we have so we can be sharp for playing live. So in some ways, it's great to have this little hiatus between drummers to write songs. Although I love writing with a drummer, um, a lot of them it just happens pretty quick. Um, so I don't think it's going to be too much longer before he comes around, and we're definitely going to hit the shows hard once he gets here. And he's definitely a good drummer, so it's going to be great. Are we having technical?
Cool. So bear with us for 1 second there, dude.
No
Just got to
problem.
refresh the.
I figured some technicals were going on. Damn
Yeah,
technical.
yeah. For some
Damn
reason,
technology.
the sound came out there.
We were just talking about
Yeah,
that. We
it's
just want to punch a computer once in a while.
yeah, yeah. It's sometimes I hear technology.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah. Could you yeah. Well, I was going to ask where could people find what you on social media?
Yeah, most of our stuff, like say for Facebook, for example, if you put ATWB at the end of it in capitals, should be able to find us there. Um, I don't remember if we have an Instagram or not, to tell you the truth, because I don't really run that part of anything, but we probably do, and it's probably ATWB. I know on YouTube it's ATWB Band. On Spotify, you just search for Asworld Burns. You'll get some stuff from Creator songs of theirs called that. But if you type in Prevail, which is the name of our last CD, that might help you find us easier. On Apple Music, all the streaming platforms we're on. So definitely look us up. I'm happy to have you aboard, part of the family.
Yeah, cool, cool. So this is probably going to be my last question,
Okay.
and it is a tough one. Uh, and it is any advice for people who want to become a musician?
Save your money. No, it's an expensive hobby, but that shouldn't keep you from doing anything. If you really want to do something, you can. One thing is to make time for it. At first, it's a lot of people. I hear a lot of people making excuses about they can't practice because they don't have time for it or whatever. But if you really love it, you'll make the time for it. It's more of an excuse when you say that. Some people might not be excused for it, and I get that. Just do what you can do and keep on practicing. Um, Try to find you a group of guys and write some great songs is probably the most important thing about all of it. If you don't have any good songs, what you gonna do? Nothing. So getting some good songs, quality. You don't have to be difficult or anything like that. They can be easy songs, especially to start out with. But just keep it tight and sounding right, and you go far. There's a lot of times where I was like, man, I'm over this crap, but everybody gets like that in anything they do, especially nowadays with the music industry, just really weird. It's hard to make money, man, but you can't really do it for the money anymore. Can't do it for stardom. You got to do it because you love music, and that's really the best advice I can give you. If you love music and you want to do it, do it. Don't make excuses.
Yeah, yeah, sound advice. sound advice. So,
Yes.
Rich, thank you so much for coming on and doing this little interview. It's
Thank you,
been an
Eli.
absolute pleasure.
Appreciate it. You were supposed to have an interview with our singer John, but he had this other plan that came up, so he had to go see Winger.
Yeah.
Just kidding, John. But yeah, so you got stuck with me, but I appreciate you, Eli.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So go check out As the World Comes. They are a brilliant band. Go check them out on this on Facebook. So yeah. So again, thank you, Rich, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolute pleasure for sure. Thank you so much for having me.